Buenos dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it, you already know. Like a motherfucking smack addict. Buy up, buy up. In a menudo style, direct fashion, we're going to get straight to the content of the day. But before we do, let's hit that like and subscribe button. Ding. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directed in the direction of the dope content that the gun is kicking. And I highly appreciate all the support, man. We're going up on this channel. It's all because of you. And for that, I can say I'm very humbled, man. Thank you. So I wanted to talk about all the shit that's going around, man, since 047 was inaugurated, right? The inauguration was real, right? How do you say it? I swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, right? So there's a lot going on with, illegal immigrants being sent back to wherever they're from. And I'm very vocal in my support of the raza. I'm very vocal in my support of people that are trying to do the right thing, that are just trying to work and raise a family and do it, with the safety and security blanket of the freedom and liberties that we're given in this great country, right? But also at the same time, I understand, man, that there's situations where if you're fucking up, if you're doing crime, you got to go, man. You got to go do your time. There's rules of law, and those pertain to me as well. And there's been several times that I've broke the law. And guess what? I sat my ass down in prison and did time over it. I didn't get no slap on the wrist. I didn't get my paperwork right. There was none of that. It was get your ass to prison. Do not collect gold. Do not collect 200. None of that. Go to the pen. So I broke the law. That's how it goes. There was repercussions for my actions. There was results. The result was I had to go do time. And whether I learned to get my shit together or I didn't, hey, that's just the way it worked. So there's a lot of people that are illegal in this country that are getting snatched up. And just yesterday, man, there was an incident where I'm at, not where I'm from, but where I'm at. And I got to see it in real life, right? And I got a little vocal. I got a little hostile, man. If you notice, I didn't do a video yesterday. I was a little upset with the situation. And, just basically didn't even want to get on YouTube or social media yesterday because I didn't want to say some fucking crazy stuff, right? But here's the truth. So yesterday I had to go to a store and there's a Home Depot next to the store. So usually when I go to that Home Depot, man, I'm a sucker for my people, right? There's always gente out there. There's always paisas, raza out there slinging tamales. They're slinging oranges. They're slinging whatever, man. In the state of Washington, man, there's a lot of agricultural stuff going on here, right? So there's cherry trees, there's apple trees, there's Johnny Appleseed, there's all that. So I could easily go in the store and go buy my fruit. But if I see a paisa out there working hard, out there carrying them bags of apples and oranges, I'll buy some. Even though they're a little bit more expensive, I got you. If they want $12, hey, dame me 12, right? I give them fucking 15. I give them 15. I look out because I know that they're out there working hard, man, trying. And I don't look at the illegal part of it, the innocent part. I don't care about none of that, man. If I see a man hustling, and especially a brown man, because I am brown man, I'm going to look out. So as I go through the parking lot yesterday, I see a guy slinging tamales. So I'm like, ooh, I hit the brake on him real quick. I jumped off the car and I was like, hey, bro, what do you got? He's like, they had the green chicken. He had the red fucking pork. He had the cheese. He had some sweet ones. I was like, ooh, I'm going to let me get 3 of these, 3 of these, 3 of these. I was trying to get a dozen, right? But I wanted to mix it up. And as I'm doing it, 2 black SUVs are circling the parking lot. I'm not really tripping, not really watching them. But then I look and I see the lights go on, like the cop lights. I'm like, oh, I'm going to prison. They done caught up with me for some shit I done forgot about, right? And I see him snatch up this chick. There was a lady there. She was slinging tamales. They were all part of a group. Like the guy who was slinging them out of his SUV, his truck. Then there was a chick like further down, and they're all over the parking lot. They're all family, right? But that's how they do it. And they were talking to her, they were apprehending her, snatching her up, and they were taking her fucking food that she had in the back. They were moving it. They were searching the vehicle. And at first, I was gonna mind my own business because I thought, man, it's the cops and she's caught up. And then I looked and I seen that it was an ICE agent. Now, here's how I feel about this situation. I've been vocal about it and voiced it. I believe if you do a crime, you got to go do your time, man. Unfortunately, it's a fucked up situation to see the raza snatched up. But this is not a situation that's going on right now where it's just directed at the raza. We may see it like that because there's more Mexicans and more Salvadorians and more Latinos than anything, in our communities. But there's Russians, there's Chinese, there's people even from Australia or the UK that are getting snatched up too if their visas have expired, if their papers ain't right. That's the truth, right? But we see the raza, and that's what everyone's focusing on, the Mexicans mostly, right? So I seen that, and immediately I seen her old man or the dude that I was talking to, her brother, whoever he was getting nervous, and he started to shut it down. Like, I needed my tamales. Where am I at? I paid you already. Okay, I believe in looking out for my people, but I don't believe in just giving you motherfuckers money, right? Can I get my tamales? And he was nervous, so I started to talk to him, and he's like, oh, they're getting her, they're going to get me. I got to go. So I told him, jump in the truck, bro. Jump in the truck, put all your tamales in the truck, and I'll give you a ride. Leave your fucking truck here. So he did. So as he did that, I gave him a ride way out. There was so that's a big parking lot. There's a Home Depot and there's a lot of other stores. I took him to where his brother was at, and they started loading the shit up, man. And they were giving me all kinds of tamales. I ended with like 20 tamales. Bomb, right? Bomb. Redskin logo. Bomb. So I came up. Anyways, I doubled back. They were still talking to the chick that had her in handcuffs already. So I got a little vocal. I made a mistake, right? So I said, hey, why are you harassing people? Why are you fucking doing this? Whoop-de-whoop, And they told me to get off the car. So I got off the car. I ain't got nothing to fear, man. I'm an American citizen, right? I've been doing this shit. I did my time, essay, straight up. Where have you been? Shit, Corcoran? What was happening? So I jumped off the car, and they started to ask me some crazy questions. They wanted to know, where my parents were from, where I was from. And I shut that shit down. I'm from Merced, California, homie. What's happening, right? I wasn't talking like an asshole. I was being respectful, but at the same time, I was a little upset the way they were treating that woman, and I was seeing it in my own eyes. You see all these things on TV. You see the women crying in the streets, and you have two different sides of the spectrum. You have people that are like, good, go. They need to get out of here. Then you have people like, they are for, helping people from different countries. I'm in the middle. Okay, this is where I'm at with it, man. I don't want to see nobody disrespected. I don't want to see no one just snatched up, made fun of, treated like shit, in front of a whole bunch of people. There was a whole bunch of people coming out of the Home Depot looking at a whole bunch of Karens. Get that Mexican out of here, right? They were on some weird shit. And I was more like, do you see that this is a woman? Forget what color she is. Forget what language she speaks. Forget. She's out here trying to take care of her family. She cooked all these tamales and did all this hard work and bought all this food, man, with what they earned, and is out here trying to actually do something in the community. Oh, Karen didn't mind when Karen's like, we're having Mexican today. Today is Tamale Thursday, right? They don't care. But when it comes to snatch them up, there was a whole bunch of people being vocal. So I started getting vocal with them, started to get a little extreme, right? I started to get a little upset. And then so the ICE guy asks me the questions. I pull out the ID. I pull out the social security card. Sounds good. Well, you want me to pull out the old school Blockbuster card? I still got that from back in the days because I was a Blockbuster, 114%. Ciao, right? I was all that. Do I have to pull out my fucking dropout card, or what do I got to pull out to make you understand I'm an American citizen? I'm not Wes Watts. I'm sorry I don't got my 128G in my asshole, but I could do the most. And so we had a conversation. He let me go, and then I stood there, and I was telling the woman it's going to be all right, that I helped her family, everything's good. And that calmed her down a little bit. But the atmosphere and they were snatching. Now, at the same time I'm doing this, other guys were getting snatched up. There's people getting snatched up all around me. It's real, okay? This shit that we're seeing on TV is real. And it's happening in real life to really people out there. So it made me take a second look, and I had to sit back yesterday and reflect and think about where I stand in this. And, I know this is to target cartels, criminal organizations, gangs, people that are doing criminal activities. I understand that, man. And I'm a firm believer in, man, I try to stay away from everyone's business. I don't know who's doing what, but at the same time, I understand that agenda. I understand people are dying every day, and the government feels it's because of the drugs that are being trafficked through Mexico or whatever, right? I understand it. I'm not dumb. I've had family members that have passed due to fentanyl and things like that, right? But also at the same time, when I see people striving and they're working hard, and these are not people that I just happen to see. I see these Mexicanos all the time slanging these tamales. I buy them every week. You know, like I said, I buy the oranges and the apples. I try to look out because that's the type of person I am. You know, I'm not just going out there giving money to people because I don't got it like that. Shit, I need some. But if I got a little change in my pocket, I'm definitely going to help out the people. You know, I noticed so many people on the streets with signs. And, you know, I'm not trying to sound racial, brother. There's a lot of woods out there asking for a pretty penny, brother. Got coffee? I've seen all the signs. And I see a lot of the Mexican dudes out there with the oranges, the flowers, the hustling, right? Working, trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. And to be truthful and totally honest with you, those are the people that I'm going to support. Those are the people I'm going to give my money to, people that are at least trying to hustle, not people that are begging. You know, and I'm not saying it's only white dudes, brother, because I have seen one Latino out there begging. He was like, hey, brother, can I get a shot? I said, well, what? Heroin? Man, get away from me, right? I'm cool. But I look out the best I can. And so to see this shit going on in real life, it made me reanalyze things. And here's the situation. Here's where I stand on it. These policies, man, are meant to do one thing and one thing only, and that's to secure the borders of the United States, right? But also at the same time, man, I don't like the tearing apart of families. I don't like the way they were mishandling and treating that woman like she was a straight criminal, like she did something bad, man. I've seen murderers myself treated better. I've seen people that have done serious crimes because of their skin tone or because of their ethnicity being treated with respect. Yeah, can you get in, watch your head. When they put them in the backseat of the car, they were snatching this lady, pulling her one way, pulling her the other, questioning her. She was scared. She was scared. She was upset. You know, her children were in the truck. It was bad. It was bad. They were talking to the kids, and that's why I said something. You know, when they were talking to the woman, I felt bad. But hey, adults are adults. You make your bed, you got to lay in it, right? But then when I see them start talking to the kid, that's when I said, hey, what's the fuck's going on here? Right? I already knew what was going on, but saying, yeah, I need to put my 2 cents in. I had to put my fucking Pinocchio in the mix, my nose in the mix, right? And I was like, what's going on here? And that's when they were like, you too, puto, get out of here, right? Luckily, I'm light-skinned. So, you know what I mean? I went straight Garth Brooks on them. You know, which bridge to cross, which bridge to burn, right? I was straight Vince Gill in that motherfucker. You know, I got friends in low places, and I also got friends in Mexico. And so I felt some type of way, and I voiced it. You know, and the cool part was the ICE guy that was talking to me was Mexican. And they're utilizing a lot of Chicanos and Mexicano ICE agents, man, because they could translate. You know, they could talk to them. And I asked him, I said, do you feel like a sellout snatching up your own people? He said, these aren't our own people, eh? Right? I said, well, who are they? They look brown as fuck to me, and they make some bantamales. So what are you talking about? And he said, man, I'm just doing my job. And that's always the excuse. I'm just doing my job. But your job is tearing families away from each other. You know, now, don't get it twisted, man. I support 4-7. Okay? I believe that he's going to bring a lot of good to this world, right? And a lot of good to this country. But I just don't agree with the tearing apart of families, the snatching people up. And I'm not saying that guy is the reason they're doing it, because they've already been doing this shit for fucking 3-4 weeks before he was even sworn in. Let's not get it twisted. Everyone's focused on what he's doing. They've been doing this shit. They were in Bakersfield and Stockton. They were in the Bay Area. All throughout California, they were snatching gente. Wasn't no one speaking on it, right? Now, all of a sudden, it's a big deal. You know, but I got to be around it and witness it in real life. And I can tell you right now, it's a sad situation, man. The way that people are being treated and mishandled and judged even. You know, there was one guy, he was an Asian dude, and he was walking, and he said something. They snatched him too. They snatched him too. Like, they didn't take him and put him in the car because he showed his credentials, but he was questioned. Anyone of color, anyone of different ethnicity was being questioned. And like I said, I probably wouldn't have been, because that's gay. I mean, it's just the way my swag, you know, I'm just too smooth when I walk. But I definitely had to speak up for my people, because who else are going to speak up? You know, you got to say something. You don't do it disrespectfully, but you question. Hey, what'd she do? Why are you treating her like that? You know, I knew what time it was. And like I said, the guy said, we're just doing our job. We're just doing our, the Vata's just trying to do his pinchy job. Hey, look at my fucking eyes when you're talking to me. You know, but that's the reason why I didn't put out no content yesterday. I seen that, and I was just pretty upset with it. You know, and it's not the first time, man, that I've been caught up in a situation like that. You know, I used to work at this company in this shop. Trip out on this story, right? And La Migra, this is way before they were called ICE. So I don't even know how long they've been called ICE, but no one called them fucking yellow. No one called them ice, right? It was just migra. And I worked at this company, and there was a gang of Mexicanos, cheap ass fucking boss. He had a gang of Mexicanos, gang of Russians working there. And so we used to be doing our thing. And I ain't even gonna lie, man. A lot of the Mexicanos and Russians trained me on how to weld, on how to do certain things in the shop. Man, gave me that knowledge I couldn't get in college, right? And we had one paisa that was a good friend of the family. His name was Federico, right? And what happened was they hit, the migra hit. Paisas were running everywhere. Asian fucking jumping out windows. Wow, Jackie Chan in it. There was Russians fucking, I must break you. I must break you. They were running. Ruski, where are you going? Is this kid? I'm going to go hang out at 7-Eleven, right? They were gone. And we took Federico and we hit him in like this fucking machine. It was like a paint machine, hot as a motherfucker. But hey, bro, it's either go back or go in there. And they did their little fucking trip, man. They questioned everyone's, and and then they fucking gave the owner a warning, man, because they snatched up a lot of the paisas, right? And they told him, hey, you can't be hiring people like this. Whatever. He went through whatever emotions he went through. That was on him for being cheap, right? Cheap labor. And we got the homeboy out. He was all pouring sweat. He had black shit all over him, smoke and shit from the paint. And because it was like used to paint parts right there, like fuck, it was like coat him. And he was all dirty, and he was like, man, thank you. And I still see that fool every once in a while, man, around the area, man. He's hopefully, man, he's able to outlast this shit too. But I've seen it, and the way they were treating people and snatching them up and throwing them down like they're hardcore murderers and criminals. And a lot of these people were just trying to work to raise their families and live the American dream, But I understand this too. When people talk about Mexicans and all that, Mexicans are hard workers, and there are people, a lot of Mexicans that are in the CDC or the Washington Department of Corrections or the Oregon Department of Corrections or the Idaho, anywhere you're at, the West Coast. But there are also people that are out there doing criminal activities. So, these are the people that are being looked at, and this is the type of what they're seeing, that they're judging everyone by the criminals. When not everyone's like that, man. It's sad. It's unfortunate. Like I said, they were saying, have you ever been to prison? I said, yup, multiple times. And I think about this. Think about this. These people that have never been locked up, that are working hard, yeah, they committed a crime by crossing over illegally. Yeah, that's a crime. And all crime must be punished. I understand that, right? But then there's people like myself who was born in the United States, who have thrown away their life, been in and out of prison, gang violence, joined gangs, assaulted people, did several things. We're not the ones that get focused on. They're focusing on innocent people that haven't done anything. Believe it or not, right? That lady, I mean, I don't know. Maybe she fucking stole a payday candy bar one time. She didn't look like she was really into that. She was just raising her children and doing the best she could. Yet she was fucking against that fucking on the hood of that car. And here I am, someone who's been in and out of California prisons, Oregon prisons, Washington prisons, led a whole life of crime until I changed my ways. And I'm looking at myself like, wow, here I am. They're shaking my hand, telling me, hey, God bless America, right? And this chick is being thrown around like a rag doll right in front of her children. Something's got to be done, man. It's just unfortunate that this is the world that we're living in, but this is the world we're living in, So that is why I didn't do videos yesterday. I was kind of just pressed because of that. I was upset. There was nothing I could do, but luckily I helped that one guy. And, they're just going to have to figure out what they're going to figure out, man. But they did take the kids. They did take that woman, and they snatched up a whole bunch of other people. But I was more concerned with what was going on right there, because that was I think her old man or her brother that I helped. And I got some free tamales out of the situation. So anyways, with that being said, yeah, man, didn't get snatched up by ICE, but definitely got questioned yesterday, seen it in real life. And, it's all bad right now, man. This world is crazy. And although I support who I support, that doesn't mean I don't support the raza and my peoples. I'll never turn my back on my peoples. And I'm upset. I'm upset the way people are being treated. They need to figure this shit out and figure it out better than the way that they're handling it. There's a whole bunch of people pumped up. Get them, the motherfucking Mexicans, out of here. Everybody was an immigrant in this country at one point. The same people that you're pointing fingers at, man, your great-great-great-grandfather, what I'm saying? He was a bootlegging ass motherfucker from Germany. So stop it, right? That's just what I'm saying. Anyways, with that being said, thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive for what I truly believe in. That's the betterment of all people. I got another video I just recorded, man. It's a banger. It's under review right now, man. I guess I cussed a little too much in it. We'll see if it goes out. If it doesn't turn green, I'll still drop it later. This is the gun. Bang, bang. I appreciate you guys. Think about what's going on, man.